This is Q1, how 2012 and longer age span will change marriage. Shortly after the 2012 event, there will be many technological and scientific breakthroughs, especially in the field of health. Our lifespan will be increased many times, as some of us will live in full vitality and be very fertile beyond the age of 100. The real benefits here is not the age factor, but the breakthrough in the constraint of sexual selection. Biology of the human condition demands that we procreate before 33, as sperm begins to die and females become less fertile. Ultimately, at the age of 26, we are beyond our physical peak, and therefore it is more taxing to raise a child. Having a child in your 40s is crazy unless you have the money, because realistically, if you do not have any money saved, you'll be working beyond your 60s. So on paper, it is most viable, or it must be logical, to raise children when you are most fertile and healthy versus having financial instability and playing the odds of infertility. In reality, the controlling factor here is that physical fertility is at its peak at 26. But what if science allows you to increase the longevity of fertility, and shift it from age 26 to 40 to 70? An increase of age, so longevity means the chances, not the staying power, uh, allowing you to fertility to last longer, or the not the process, but being fertile longer. So an age increase in proportion to technology and personal spiritual evolvement. Uh, what that means is that, dependent on where you go, uh, so it depends where your success is in the four mandatory destinies, and and your financial success as well. But normally at this time, if you do well spiritually, you're going to make money. So this would change all the rules of sexual selection. This feature would also change humanity. Think about it. This would give us the time to find the job that we truly want and love, as we are not pressured by to keep the job that we are currently in, just to ensure that we have a stable source of income. People will change careers more often, and as a result, our civilization will be more productive, and happiness and efficiency will bring new ideas and innovations at faster rates. There will be more financial stability, and raising a child will be tremendously easier, and sending them to university will be very affordable. Really, try and appreciate what this means, as it is better than winning the $1 million in the lottery. What's the point? You end up spending, you're not going to be happy. $1 million these days is not a lot, but for government agents that don't pay taxes on anything, that's a lot. And you can experiment, date, and also you get a lot of benefits too. You can experiment, date, and have a lot of sex, which is healthy, good for confidence, and relieves natural selection in procreational forces. Meaning, programmed inside your genetics, you, me, and everyone is the desire, the need, biologically enforced, and family responsibility to make a child. So, which, and as I explained earlier about the four destinies, making a child is not, it's a genetic marker, which is a genetic contract. Uh, you don't have to, but you do. You need to. So there's no point of marrying unless you do, or unless they know what they're getting into. And fertility won't be a problem because science will fix all of that. So now, so for now, within the next 5 to 10 years, probably within the next 5. So now having sex satisfies and release these pressures, but in the future, sex will be just pleasure. 6 years, under 6 years, just pressure. Uh, but in the future, sex will be just pleasure at about 10 times uh, more intensity. As since your senses will increase. But once again, that depends on your personal evolution. Along the way, you save money, enjoy life to the fullest, and when you're ready and have found someone that you love enough to make a baby, you'll be 60 to 70 years old, have a house paid for, and be able to send 2 kids to university. I have seen too many women sad, depressed, and forced into exile because they put their careers ahead of their personal life. For the others, for the others, sorry, I've seen too many women sad, depressed, and forced into exile because they have put their careers ahead of their personal life. For others, some have had only 1 or 2 boyfriends and are not ready for a baby. Some are not ready at all. Some marry because they feel inadequate, while others keep the baby. No one deserves a life without joy, but a life without not being prepared now takes away your child's happiness, which will only increase your sadness. 2012 will give us more time to prepare for their marriage, for marriage and its joys, and no longer the machinations or the robotics of Darwinian drama of procreation. Ultimately, The real benefits here is that we as a race will be able to marry the person of our choice, because time will allow us to do so, of an increased and very forgiving lifespan. This in turn will physically evolve our bodies into sentience, not intelligence, but sentience, awareness. I mean, it knows when you're hungry. It's going to tell you, and it knows what's bad for it and what's good for it, and I'll talk to you. Like, I'll talk to your brain. Like, I mean, that's where all that noise is coming from. It's from your brain, but it's actually you're getting information from another source, another antenna, a spiritual antenna. So it gets muddled, and that's what monks do. They meditate to silence this inner voice, which is more than an inner voice, because inner voice denotes a dialogue of pertinence, of relevance to a subject. What this says is that it's just distraction noises that are relevant to another reality. And that's going to go away. Then we will no longer live to procreate, but procreate in the name of loving, no longer programmed for survival. This freedom will allow us to love again, love ourselves again, and we will motivate ourselves to become healthier and exercised. As the level of health and fitness will determine how much prana is consumed, which is spiritual energy, which will increase your vitality and longevity, your lifespan power, the actual oomph in it. In truth, these are why parents argue, fight, cheat, and divorce each other. Honestly, ladies, I do aerobics 3 times a week, and all that work and no enjoyment, other than oxygenating your body. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel sexy, not kiss me, don't lick me, I'm not a lollipop. As long as also a longer lifespan will cause a sharp spike. Wow, that delivery was horrible. I want to feel sexy, not kiss me, don't lick me, I'm not a lollipop. Also, longer lifespan will cause a sharp spike in the quality of labor force, as the number of postgraduates will jump to surprising levels. Realistically, this will eventually and quickly force evolution to evolve our brains mentally and spiritually. I repeat, since the rules of the marriage game changes its recipe, it must also change its rules. We will no longer marry the beautiful or the one with the best body or the most money. We will, and women just don't do it because they that's the reason. They're not heartless or without any souls. They learn to love those people, and that's what women do. What they won't tell you is that they'll look at a guy and they'll say, "Oh my God, this guy's got all of these problems." And meanwhile, I mean, it's different for everyone, as no one's perfect. But women actually cultivate the man. They build the man, and they preen it, and they afterwards they showcase it to their friends, and it's like an unwritten rule for women.